Hello there, May. My name's Andrew and I'm the essay corrector here at IELTSpodcast.com. Well done for getting this far in the course and sticking with us, and thank you for submitting these first corrections. With each of these submissions, what I'll be doing is identifying common mistakes, so things like whether you responded to the task accurately, whether your essay is of a decent structure, whether you used a good variety of language, and I'll move through and correct your grammar as I go as well. Each time you receive one of these corrections, the best thing that you could do is work through your own work and apply the corrections yourself. In this way, you can learn to spot your own mistakes and self-correct. So over the course of all 8 essay corrections, you will slowly improve. By the end of the 8 essay corrections, we hope to have you above a band 7 as a minimum. But let's get started and begin with your introduction. So what's important with the introduction is that we stay specifically on track with the question. So according to some, interaction between household members. Now this is slightly off just because people who live in the same house are not necessarily related. So let's say relatives. Also, siblings just refers to brothers and sisters, but family members refers to all direct family, possibly even extended family as well. So let's describe it. Familial correspondence. So I strongly believe that it is true that familial correspondence is getting shorter in duration compared, past, to the time before digital devices. Cool. So is that all you're going to talk about in the essay? Yep, that's fine. I was just looking because in whatever we raise in our introduction is all we can talk about in our body paragraphs, and then that is all we can conclude at the end. So let's move through and have a look. So I wouldn't use firstly and secondly in body paragraphs. It's really just not that necessary. We can go straight in. So almost every household member owns a digital device which takes up... don't use these personal pronouns to refer to yourself ever. So when you say our, it means all of us, including me. So I would say almost every household member owns a digital device which takes up a significant amount of time. I'm not sure about the end of this sentence. I think I would leave the topic sentence like this, and then say, I would actually join these two sentences together. And then we have this. This is largely because, and I would change this to people, just to get rid of that person, that our. People have become... So, if you're going to say so dependent on smartphones and computers, we would have to say, people have become so dependent that something. So let's try to extend this sentence slightly. This is largely because people have become so dependent on smartphones and computers that they are even used for the majority of communication. Or we could even say that these days they are even used for the majority of communication. For example, a study from the Education Department of Australia showed that we just need 4 out of 5 students have a smartphone. This doesn't... it's okay, actually. But I would extend it slightly, which they use to communicate, or no, actually, we've already said that, to converse, have a conversation, via instant messenger platforms. And then this, it is inevitable that we can detach ourselves from digital media. I don't quite understand the meaning of this. It is inevitable means it's unavoidable, that it will happen. So what you're saying is we will detach ourselves from digital media that has become integrated into our lives. And this does not follow on from the sentence. So what I would actually do is explain what this means for, say, face-to-face communication. Therefore, face-to-face communication within families has been largely replaced by text-based conversation, severely limiting the quality of the interactions. And you mentioned duration at the top. So let's say the quality and length of the interactions, and then it relates to your introduction. Here, because you're continuing your argument, I would use furthermore. And let's get rid of the us. Some individuals even study and shop online. Let's change this to moreover, so that here I can say further reducing opportunities to converse with loved ones. This is due to the fact that some must work and study at the same time. Here I would say as they must. So this is due to the fact that some must work and study at the same time as they must work to pay for tuition fees. And other necessary outgoings. For instance, based on research, so what we should say here, based on research into shopping habits conducted by the University of Melbourne, 3 out of 5 household members shop online because people at the present time I would say simply lack the time to shop. Keep it nice and simple. Let's say physically visit shops to give the idea that people are actually having to leave the house. As a consequence, screen time amongst family members has increased dramatically, and interaction between let's just say an interaction between family members, so interaction has dropped significantly. To conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that there has been, because this essay is asking you about what has happened so far, what has happened up to this point. It's not asking you for the future. That there has been a serious decline. Communication is fine. In communication between, now we can just go straight back to family members. Here I would say due to over-dependency on modern... Oh, I missed out an N. Can we have over-dependency? Well, apparently not. We have to have over-dependence on modern technology. Staying specific, making sure that we expand every point fully. The academic format and the task-response portion of the mark scheme demands that we fully expand and support every single point that we make. So we need to make sure that we speak with precision. But let's move on to your next piece. So first things first, very well done here. You picked up on this preposition with a child, doing stuff with children. What a lot of people start to do is just talk about children doing fun things. They don't mention doing stuff with a child. So according to some, accomplishing something fun with a child can foster more desirable skills and intelligence than reading. Fine, except this question asks about imagination, not intelligence. Skills and imagination. So we could talk about abilities and creative thinking. Anything that talks about imagination is fine. Here I would say completely instead of totally. Totally is just kind of American. I completely believe that this is true because a child learns better when the learning process is engaging and fun. Great, this is exactly my opinion. I'm very happy to see this here. Here, we could actually use a semicolon and say, although reading remains a vital tool in the learning process, we should say. This essay will discuss the importance of pleasurable activities that will encourage intelligence and skills in a child. Cool. I'm okay with that. You compared it with reading. You specifically mentioned doing things with children. You outlined why you believe this. Good, good, good. Firstly, a young child learns best through play. This is fine. I'll allow this firstly this time, but we don't always need it, remember. This is largely because I would say that we should say this is largely due to the fact that as a child plays, he or she will learn social skills and no comma before such as. He or she will learn social skills such as sharing, interacting, and problem solving. For example, a famous cognitive theorist, Vygotsky, nice, has pointed out that children learn immensely through pretend play. Therefore, parents and teachers should create age-appropriate activities that are fun for the children to build up their skills and creativity. Wonderful. Parents and teachers should. Doing things with children. This is really, really good. Secondly, not all children will like to read. Cool. Some will find that reading is boring simply due to the fact that every child is different. Be wary of super short sentences. It's sometimes better just to string them together. Also, don't start sentences with conjunctions. So, if parents and teachers try to force a child to read when he or she dislikes reading, it will obviously have. I don't really like the word obviously in academic writing. It's a bit arrogant. It doesn't, because if we want to make a point, we have to expand it and prove it. We can't just say, well, this is definitely true. So if we just say it will have a detrimental effect, or it may have, would be even better. It may have a detrimental effect on, we have effects on things. It may have a detrimental effect on the child's learning experience. For instance, a recent study from Harvard indicates that 4 out of 5 children learn immensely. You've already done this up here, so this makes it sound like the example is made up. So let's considerably more effectively when they are doing something that they enjoy. As a consequence, educators should inspire creative thoughts and skills through fun activities and not solely on reading. Cool. It's a little bit similar to this end sentence here. So be careful of any repetition, but overall, I'm happy with it. To conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that children should be given fun activities to explore in their learning environment, since this will better develop their creative thinking abilities. One thing, let's say, better develop their creative thinking abilities and a wider variety of skills than simply reading. And now, with that little bit of expansion as well, we have a much better word count, a much safer word count. I recommend always trying for 280 words, but not really going above that. So, with you, a couple of your points needed to be expanded slightly with some more specific information. In the academic format, we really try to drill down into the nitty-gritty, the details of what we're trying to describe. Also, let's try to make sure that our examples are really, really specific. If we're going to use a study, who did it? What did it show? What are we comparing it with? What was the result? So was it a percentage, or was it... So we need numbers. We need to quantify it, really. But all in all, very good first essays. I'm very impressed, and I do look forward to correcting the rest of your work. So have a great day, May, and goodbye for now.